Hi, Tammy Jean here. Welcome back to my channel and thanks for tuning in. Today, I'm going to recap our recent trip to Aruba. We traveled to Aruba from January 7th of 2021 to January 11th of 2021. The key factors that made us choose Aruba for this trip were that they were accepting travelers, because that's important, direct flight from Philadelphia, reliable weather, and the price was right. Normally Aruba would have been more expensive, but due to the pandemic, the prices were drastically lowered. I did book through Orbitz, but only after tracking flights on Google Flight Tracker for about a month. I started tracking in November, booked in early December, and we traveled in early January. Before you head to Aruba, there is an Embarkation, Disembarkation card that you must apply for and show before you board the plane. So let's talk a little bit about the ED card process and what that entails. Applying for your ED card entails going to this website and filling out a questionnaire. Then you need to upload a negative COVID-19 PCR test. That's the nasal swab test, not the antigen test. You also cannot do a home test. It has to be done by a medical professional and it has to be uploaded within 72 hours of your departure. Print out this test once you get the results or email it to yourself. You will need it multiple times in both airports. Also, you must purchase $30 travel insurance through Aruba to cover if you were to get sick on the island. There is some rules that Aruba has right now. They have a curfew of 11 p.m. and all establishments close by 10 p.m. with the exception of if it's in your hotel. If you have a hotel bar or something like that, that might stay open past 10 o'clock. The other thing is their venues can only have one musician and there is no dancing on the island at this time. I found Aruba to be taking COVID very seriously. There was masks worn indoors at all times other than when you were eating. In addition to that, they also were very big on hand sanitizer. Every time you walked into any establishment, whether it was a store or a restaurant or the hotel, you would have to hand sanitize your hands. Our hotel also took our temperature every time we came back to the hotel after we had left the hotel. If you are traveling to Aruba and it's after January 26th, you will need a negative COVID test to come back to the United States. That was not a requirement when we traveled. The only information I have and source I have on that, other than what you can look up on your own via the US, is we had a waiter in Aruba who did tell me it was easy to get tested in Aruba and get your test results back fast. That is the only thing I know about that. I wish I could help more. Unfortunately, there just wasn't a requirement on our trip back. We took our PCR test at the Philadelphia Airport Terminal E Testing Center. You do not need to make an appointment, but they do recommend that you pre-register online. It cost $130 and we received our results in under 48 hours. We are going to Aruba! Yay! Direct flight this time. We are flying American Airlines, so really excited.
Tasha wheels.
Beverage service on American Airlines was suspended, but they did give us this bag of goodies. The flight was not overly crowded, but it was decently full. We made it to Aruba! Our flight was actually really great. It left a little late, but 2 thumbs up for American Airlines, no complaints. And we just checked into the Holiday Inn here in Aruba. So this is our view. While our room at the Holiday Inn was nothing fancy, the hotel did have several pools, a hot tub, and it was right on the beach. We opted for the all-inclusive option, which included all 4 of their restaurants, all of our meals, and all of our alcoholic beverages, and their coffee shop. The food was decent, the drinks were even better, and the staff was the best. The next morning, we got up early and ended up being the only ones at breakfast. I was told the hotel was operating at 23% capacity. We're up early to visit the Renaissance Hotel's private Flamingo Island. You can visit Flamingo Island if you stay at the hotel, book a day pass, which didn't seem to be happening during COVID, or book a massage. It is only accessible by boat from the Renaissance Hotel. We decided to book a massage. We are here at the beautiful Flamingo Beach at the Renaissance Island. Hanging out with flamingos all day was a dream come true, as I have loved flamingos since I was a kid. You can feed them with feed bought on the island, though sometimes they can get a little sassy. Flamingos are not native to the island of Aruba, so this is the only place you will find them. You will also find other animals here, like lots of iguanas, birds, and fish. After a quick shuttle back and a taxi to our hotel, we enjoyed a lovely dinner and visited a neighboring bar called Moomba. Moomba was super fun, had a timpani player, and had great drinks and atmosphere. We really enjoyed it and enjoyed bopping around our seats. But don't stand and dance because there is no dancing in Aruba. The next day, we spent enjoying the pools and the beach at our hotel. In the evening, we hit the town on foot and headed to a nightclub and hookah bar called South Beach. I was surprised that hookah was offered, though they did offer everyone their individual mouthpiece. There's still no dancing, but we still had a great time. The next day, we rented a Jeep, which was arranged by the concierge at our hotel. Our plan was to hit up the national park all day. I was told from friends this would be an all-day excursion. It took us about a half hour from our hotel to get to the national park. We wanted to swim in the natural pools, and the only way that you can reach the natural pools is either by hiking or renting a 4x4 or taking a tour. Obviously, we opted for the 4x4. Arriving at the natural pools took us about 45 minutes, and it was not a drive for the faint of heart. But it was 100% completely worth it. The views were amazing. The natural pools consist of a larger lower pool and a smaller upper pool that you need to rock climb a bit to get to. The natural pools, people love jumping off those rocks from the smaller pool into the larger pool. There was a person there that worked for the park monitoring people. It cost $11 to enter the park per adult, and the park does close at 4, so I do recommend going early. After the pools, we decided to take the trek back to the main road and visit some of the other sites. There are 2 caves in the park, each of which we visited. These caves are homes to many bats, and one of the caves has some natural skylights, which were just amazing to see. Exited the park, we decided to take the scenic route back to the hotel. On this route, Brandon spotted some donkeys on the side of the road. We pulled over to admire them, and just as we did, another gentleman got out of his car and began to feed the donkeys. It was at this point we realized how friendly they were and got out of the car to enjoy the fun. They were so sweet, and this was by far the coolest unplanned part of our trip.
Oh my goodness. Hi.
For the sunset on our last night in Aruba, we decided to celebrate with some drinks at the neighboring bar called Pelican Pier. You may have noticed that some of my photos have been a little overcast. I was worried about the weather before our trip, but I quickly learned that in Aruba, passing rain showers come through for a few minutes and always leave only a beautiful rainbow. The weather was perfect. The plane ride home was spacious enough to spread out. It was truly sad to say goodbye to Aruba, as I believe it was one of the best trips I've ever had. We didn't do everything on the island. We didn't go to see other beaches. We didn't go to the lighthouse, but we got in what we wanted to do, and it was super relaxing. We also didn't venture off the resort for food very often because we did the all-inclusive, but I also have no regrets about that. But I am told the food there is excellent, and everything we ate was great. We did eat off a couple of times, but for the most part, we ate at the resort because it was included. If you're looking for a honeymoon destination right now and you don't know where to go, I highly recommend it. With not as many people there, it felt super exclusive, and I really enjoyed my time in Aruba. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions about our trip, please drop them below, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.